Hi students, I'm Una.
And I'm Scott.
I'm a PTE teacher from the UK.
I'm also a PTE teacher from the UK.
And we've been helping students pass their exams for years.
And now we're excited to help you pass your exam too.
Welcome to the Swoosh English PTE podcast.
Let's get started.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of PTE Academic here at Swoosh English with Scott and Una. So today we are doing our top tips series for our Retell Lecture Task within the speaking section of the PTE exam. So we're just going to look at 3 top tips that we can use and apply to this task on the day of our exam. And coming up to the day of your exam, of course, as well, how we can prepare for this task. So Scott, what is your first top tip today?
My first top tip would be to obviously learn the structure of how you deliver the content aspect of Retell Lecture. And what you can do before you do that in your own time is utilize some templates which have been proven to work. So in the content section, you will have 3 sections you have to relay. One is the idea of the gist or the main topic. The second are the main points. You're looking for 2 main points, maybe a supporting example or 2 with that as well. And then finally, also giving your conclusion. So you want to be able to focus on the day of the exam, basically on how you deliver it. So if you get these templates down, you should be able to autopilot these in and use those while just simply inserting your main ideas around it.
Exactly.
So for your topical or gist idea template, you can use ideas like the lecture discussed, the lecture mentioned, the reporter talked about, the speaker mentioned, and then insert your main point after that. Keep that structure nice and consistent. Excellent. When you're also referring then to your main points, you can use these in sequential order by using words such as firstly, secondly, thirdly, finally. If you even get to finally, probably secondly is actually sufficient. The first point mentioned by the speaker was, the second point mentioned by the speaker was, the third point mentioned by the reporter was, etc. Play about with the words that are used on the day in terms of the people who are speaking. Is it a reporter? Is it a doctor, etc.? And also you can even use words like first, next, then as well.
Yeah, and use different verbs like suggested,
yes,
the speaker relayed,
relay, suggested, highlighted, referred to, mentioned as well. And obviously when you're giving your conclusion, you can use to conclude, in summary, to sum up, and then obviously give away your main point that you can take away from the lecture that was mentioned by the speaker.
Very good. Okay, so that is our first top tip. Now, what about, I think we're going to talk about overall listening skills. So for this task, of course, it is assessing your listening and your speaking. Although it falls within the speaking section, it is still affecting your listening score.
Your listening obviously isn't being assessed, but in order to get that perfect speaking score, your listening skills have to be up to scratch.
Yes. So we want to make sure that we really listen to lots of academic recordings coming up to the day of your exam, so we can listen and take notes. So practice taking notes. You're going to take notes for Retell Lecture, so practice those note-taking skills. And take down academic vocabulary. So this is really important. Your listening can only be as good as your academic vocabulary is, okay? So if you're not able to actually understand the words that you are hearing, it'll be very difficult for you to note them down and difficult for you to relay them. So one of the biggest parts of improving our listening is improving our vocabulary, our bank of vocabulary. And it's a really good idea to do to anything you're listening to or reading even, to have a little notebook of different words that you have picked up along the way, write down their definition, and take some time every now and again to review these and really remind yourself of them and get them into your brain, okay?
And just to add on to what Una was saying there as well, it's also important that you also think of synonyms and antonyms to these words too, so you're able to relate to what they mean in terms of words that you might already know. And also, as Una was saying too, it's good to listen to a variety of different academic lecture style subjects. So listen to academic talks and speeches, public speeches, reports, even TED Talks, for example, are a great resort. And even then you can find exercises as well where you can relate to the academic vocabulary to the transcript and use that in improving your listening skills.
Yeah, definitely. Very good. Okay, so that's our listening. And then the final thing is some tips for our speaking.
Our speaking, of course. So we've done the listening part. We've got our content down. We know how to do it. Now we just have to deliver it. So how can we improve on our delivery in the day, Una?
Well, of course, you're going to practice, right? So really, whenever you practice this task, record yourself. Listen back to yourself. Ask questions. Analyze yourself. Analyze your own speaking. How was your pace? Did you hesitate a lot? Did you...
Were there any pronunciation errors that you picked up on? And did you reformulate sentences? Did you stumble? Did you slip up? Did you use lots of fillers such as ahs or ums or oohs? you want to ensure
Exactly.
that you don't really do that as much as possible. And yes, it's difficult, but the best way for you to assess that is by engaging in some self-assessment. Record yourself. I know no one likes listening to themselves speaking, but unfortunately, you've got to get over that fear in order to improve upon yourself. Maybe you have someone you're doing the test with as well. Why don't you engage in some exercises together where one person listens, the other person assesses, and then gives you some feedback on what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we do at Swoosh English.
Yeah, engage with someone else and see if they can give you some feedback. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the best way basically for you to really pick holes in any weaknesses you might have and then find ways to improve upon them.
And I think that, the vocabulary doesn't exist in isolation just with listening as well. It boils down to your speaking too, because if you're confident in the words you are using because you are very familiar with this vocabulary, then your speaking will come across better and you will sound more confident, calm, fluid and relaxed.
Precisely. So yeah, if you're prepared and you know what you're going to do in the day, then everything will improve. Being relaxed and confident and prepared, as Una said, is highly important.
Preparation is key.
Preparation is key and everything else as well. So that's our 3 tips today as part of our Retell Lecture top tips. We hope you found them incredibly useful and you will use some of these techniques and practices going forward in the PTE exam. If you are doing PTE soon, I wish you the best of luck in Retell Lecture, as well as Una, I'm sure, and also the other components as well. So thanks for
everyone.
Thanks for watching and listening today. Bye-bye. Are you struggling with your PTE exam preparation? Are you unsure how to get that score of 65, 79, or even 90? Let us help you get there. Please go to pte.swooshenglish.com and enter discount code PTE10 in order to receive 10% discount on any course.